Thank you very much, Jesse. And I'll go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so as I said, I am the IoT specialist, and I'm gonna be covering how Meraki cameras and our sensors they enhance safety, efficiency, and automation in schools. We know that schools face challenges like student safety, infrastructure protection, and energy management. So with Meraki, we're gonna be talking how this platform provides a real-time visibility and automation to address all these challenges that I just mentioned. Um, sorry. Okay. Oh, okay. Um, and schools aim to be more sustainable to reduce costs and protect their IT infrastructure. But to achieve this, we need to have three main things. One is going to be have complete visibility of what's going on the digital and physical world. We also need to have the ability to capture and analyze energy and environmental data, and also have different ways to automate action to remediate issues and improve real-time operations. Um, to talk or mention some of the main K to 12 issues, we can say bullying, vandalism, vaping, health concerns. Those are part of the top challenges. And we also need better monitoring and real-time alerts. So what Meraki does is that it provides a video intelligence and sensor data to detect and respond to these proactively. I'm going to be talking about some of these main challenges, and I think that the first one that we need to mention is vaping detection and the air quality. And sometimes vaping, it's hard to detect because of the lack of strong scent that it has. So nowadays, most of schools, they need air quality sensors to be able to monitor bathrooms, hallways, or those areas where you can't place a camera, for example. So MV help to track movement, but empty sensors, such as the air quality sensors that we have, they help to track air contaminants for fast action. So it can be cigarettes, it can be marijuana, vaping, or any other things that we want to detect, for example. Also, CO2 and student health, it's part of the main concerns. Sometimes the high presence of CO2 levels can lead to fatigue or reduce the amount of focus on students. So schools use the Meraki MT sensors to be able to monitor that air quality, also to optimize ventilation, and just to be able to create healthier learning environments. Um, I'm going to be presenting some of our sensors and the whole lineup, but we do have a specific sensor that is able to detect the presence of CO2, especially when the levels start changing from normal to maybe a little more toxic. We can associate this with headaches, with fatigue, or just poor concentration, for example. Um, Mold is also part of the risk or the challenges that we have to mention. Sometimes it increases the moisture, the humidity, and we even have a specific sensors that are going to be able to detect the presence of mold if it hits in a specific range that we want to be measuring. So the poor ventilation, for example, can be impacting student health, and that's why the MT sensors can detect those spikes, just allowing schools to take preventive action before an issue arises on school environments, for example. Now, the idea is that we can talk or see how some of these challenges can be um, addressed with some of our solutions. So, for example, for detection, we even have API integrations and the MT sensors that would provide instant alerts when the air quality changes due to vaping, due to smoking, or just the presence of any other contaminants. And also, schools can automate the follow-up actions, ensuring a fast response and documentation. So you could even have a camera and a sensor paired together, and you're going to be receiving multiple alerts whenever there's a change on the air quality, for example, and then you can even receive an image of what's going on outside of that bathroom, for example. Um, As I mentioned, we have two types of sensors dedicated to air quality, and they both focus on health. They measure the air quality, the total volatile organic compounds, and the particulate matter on a specific space. And they can also measure other things such as temperature, the humidity, or even the ambient noise levels. We have one that it's the MT40. It's a regular sensor for air quality, and it's one of the most used sensors to place on bathrooms. But we also have another one that it's the one that has a LED ring on it, and it will be measuring the presence of CO2. When we talk about student safety, bullying and violence, it's also another challenge that comes to mind. With our cameras, with the ENVI cameras, we can identify bullying patterns and threats. And there are also AI-driven analytics that come embedded with our cameras that they can provide early warnings. They can send immediate alerts, helping staff to intervene quickly and just effectively. So we even have like line crossing AI or advanced analytics or area occupancy measurements that you can define after how many people you want to be receiving an alert. So if there's a lot of people being gathered together in one same space, you can be able to identify like those patterns and just take immediate action after that. With vandalism, schools also worry a lot about this in areas specifically where there are no cameras. But we now have, we also have smart audio with our cameras, or even with sensors that are going to be able to detect the change on the decibel levels. And we can detect like unusual noises, screams, or activity in real time as well. When talking about securing classrooms or high traffic areas, we even have access control integrations. One of them, just to mention examples, it can be Informacast that can send out alerts like in crises or in emergency situations, and or even call the 911. So schools can monitor any type of incidents. They can even lock doors remotely or respond instantly to secure any threats, and just be able to ensure the safety of a learning environment. So you can have a multiple combination of cameras, of sensors, and have different integrations with access control, which is also now something that it's very important for schools. We have a direct integration with Genia that allows you to have that access control as well. Talking about seamless network management, sometimes IT equipment is critical for school operations as well. And we also know the size of this investment. So with MT sensors that can monitor the temperature, the humidity, that there's not going to be any water leaking. For example, if they have air conditionings for, we can also reduce just any downtimes or just prevent um, any cost in terms of disruptions or any damage on equipment that we were not considering. So we have different sensors dedicated to maintain the like a network closet monitoring, or just be able to use the energy in a best consumption way. And I said, talking about that, we even have an MT40 sensor, which is our smart power controller, and it automates the power cycles, and it allows you to reduce the waste and improve efficiency related to the energy consumption of one specific space. With that said, I'm going to talk very briefly about our lineup and the different cameras and sensors that we have. Just to introduce this part, everything it's cloud-based, so there's no need to have an NVR or any extra analytic software. Everything comes in a box. So literally, whenever you buy a camera, you have everything that you need to be able to make them work. They work by a license that is going to be attached to that camera. You can access anywhere, so that means that you're going to be able to view footage locally or remotely, or just control everything from wherever you are. And because this is everything is going to be analyzed on the cameras itself, you're going to be able to access to all that information and analytics in real time. We divide our lineup in indoor and outdoor cameras. So depending on where you need to place them, we're going to have different models that we can suggest. And we even have fixed and varifocal lens. The main difference in here is going to be that the fixed cameras, they just have digital zoom, while the varifocal lens cameras, they do have digital and optical zoom. We also have fisheye cameras for both environments. And we even have a new camera that is the MV84X, which is a multi-sensor camera that has four licenses on it. And four lenses on it, and it uses one same license, giving you four imagers at which you're going to be able to be looking at. And of course, our bullet cameras that are designed for outdoor spaces and just have like a more narrow view, but a long distance in terms of coverage. With the sensors, I talked about some of these. We have for critical infrastructure monitoring, so we have the MT10, MT12, and MT20, in which you're going to be able to measure the temperature, the humidity, if there's any water leaking. We even have one that is for opening and door closing. We have a smart power controller, which is the MT40, that allows you to control the amount of power that you're using, or just to be able to use this in a more efficient way. We have one that it's for temperature and it has a probe on it. For air quality, we have the two that I mentioned before, the indoor air quality, that is the regular sensor, and also the advanced, that is the one that detects the presence of CO2. And we have one that is an automation button that you can pretty much put the function that you want. So you can have one of this, and if it does like a short press, you can be calling to Peter's room, or with a short press, then you'll be calling to the main office or something like that. You can have different type of actions applied to this sensor. And we're always adding like new features and new integrations. Attribute search is one that comes with all of our Gen 3 cameras, and this allows you to track people or just identify one incident by color clothing, or if we would be talking about an outdoor camera, that would be by vehicle type or vehicle color. So it's a very easy way to detect someone, and from there see who else was involved and be able to track that person as well. So it's a very efficient way to do motion search or event search, having information of that person that we want to follow. And then we do integrate with Genea for access control uses. And for example, you'll be able to access control events. You'll be able to search on the recent access control activity, unlock doors by just verifying people through your cameras, and just navigate through both platforms in a very easy way. And last, this is something that Jesse also mentioned, but we do have a marketplace that we have different ecosystem partners. We have lots of them offering different solutions. So if it's something that we do not have as a native feature or solution, we can always look on the marketplace to see if we have that offer to integrate with. So it's an open API, and it allows us to do these type of integrations. And of course, that you can access from any device, meaning from the Meraki mobile app, from the Meraki Vision portal, that it's a dedicated portal for camera users only. We also have the Meraki display that allows you to be looking at multiple cameras at once, and the fact that you can access from anywhere in the world, literally, and just have control of your camera and sensor system or solution. It's a great benefit for everyone involved in the Meraki solutions. So with that said, Nikki, I'll pass the ball to you.